When race day feels off and you can't explain why. Unpacking the operating system behind elite performance. The problem everyone talks about but no one solves. We've all heard it before. I just didn't feel like me out there. They're not a gamer. They just don't show up on race day. They've got the speed, but something happens when it counts. Commentators say it. Coaches say it. Even riders believe it. But here's what no one ever explains. It's not a character flaw. It's not about being soft or not wanting it enough, and it's definitely not about talent. What you're seeing on race day is simply the output of a system, and that system either holds or it breaks.
What is the operating system?
Your operating system is how your brain encodes, stores, and retrieves performance. It's not mindset. It's not motivation. It's the entire neurological framework that drives what your body does under pressure. If that system hasn't been trained correctly, if it hasn't been tested properly, if it hasn't been installed into the movement brain, then race day will always feel like a coin toss, and no amount of hype or motivation will fix it. Why most riders fail on race day? Let's be honest, most riders don't know how to activate themselves on race day. They don't know how to hit flow. They don't even know what flow actually feels like. That's not their fault. No one taught them how. Instead, they train hard, ride laps, do sprints, then hope it all clicks under pressure. But pressure is where untrained systems fall apart. Here's what's actually happening inside the brain. The thinking brain tries to take over, slow, analytical, hesitant. The emotional brain floods with self-doubt, fear, or overexcitement. The movement brain, cerebellum, the part responsible for smooth, automatic execution, never gets the chance to lead. So when the gate drops, they lose rhythm, make mistakes, and spiral, not because they're weak, but because their system wasn't ready. The performance chain. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link. To build a race day ready operating system, 4 key stages must be developed in order. Neurological programming, low speed encoding. This isn't slow laps. This is precision pattern installation. At low speeds, riders hardwire exact movement sequences into their nervous system. It builds deep automaticity, no guesswork, no panic, just smooth, unconscious execution. Speed perception, flow, and adjustment. Now the system is tested under dynamic, real-world pressure. Can the rider hold flow when the track changes? Can they feel the difference between being on edge and in control? This stage teaches the rider to adapt without hesitation. Had applying pressure before real pressure. This is where most programs fall short. You don't develop composure by throwing someone into chaos. You develop it by training for chaos. Timers, mock races, crowd noise, tight rest periods. The emotional and thinking brain learn to quiet down so the cerebellum can take over. Race day. The system is revealed. Race day isn't where you get better. It's where you execute what's already been programmed. The system either holds or it breaks. Why this is so misunderstood? This is one of the most misunderstood areas of the sport. Even elite-level experts talk about it in vague, hollow ways. They're just not a racer. They don't have that killer instinct. Some people just don't rise to the occasion. What they're really doing is blaming the rider's identity instead of diagnosing the operating system that's breaking down. They've confused emotional spikes with performance flaws. They've misread pressure responses as weaknesses, when in reality they're untrained neurological states. The truth. Most riders have never built feel. 9 times out of 10, when a rider struggles on race day, it's because they've never developed feel. They've never truly learned to read what on feels like. They've never installed the right sequences into their nervous system. They don't know how to access flow, or even know they're capable of it. That's not failure. That's just a missing system. Final word. The system can be rebuilt. If you've ever finished a race and thought, that didn't feel like me. If you've ever wondered why your performance drops when it matters most, you're not broken. You don't need more grit or motivation. You need a system rebuild, one that installs performance at the neurological level, trains it under controlled pressure, and locks it into your movement brain. Because race day is the test. The system either holds or it breaks.